Welcome to Beat the Number, the NBA Morning Edition. My name is Abby. We're just here on Tuesday, February the 11th to discuss the sports betting top picks and plays for the NBA card. We have 4 games that we want to discuss. We're going to start off with the first game on the board. It's going to be Toronto at Philadelphia. Toronto at Philadelphia, 7.5. Total 225.5. As you can see now, it's gone all the way to as high as 9. We're seeing 9 across the board. 9 at one book, but the majority is 8.5. But we're starting to see some 9s on the board. That's Toronto at Philadelphia. The total opened up, like we mentioned before, it was 225.5. Now we're seeing 226.5, mainly 226 right about now. So we're going to look at the injury report here for these two teams. That's for Toronto and Philadelphia. And on the for the Philadelphia side, we'll look at the Philadelphia side first. For the Sixers, we have Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry ruled out. He's not going to be playing against his former team tomorrow. Eric Gordon, wrist injury, questionable to play later on today. Joel Embiid with a knee, questionable to play versus Toronto. Jared McCain out for the season. Toronto side for the Raptors. Jacob Poeltl. So Jacob Poeltl is going to be out for Tuesday. He's not going to be playing this Tuesday. He's out. RJ Barrett has a concussion. He is ruled out for Tuesday. Brandon Ingram, ankle, out indefinitely. So look at the history between these two teams. Look at the series matchup. They have played once already. That was October 25th, beginning of the season in Toronto. Philadelphia was a 5-point favorite. The Raptors covered it and won 115-107. Total was 220 in that game and went over the total. Toronto last 10 games against other opposition, 5-5 last 10, and are 7-3 against the spread, 5-5 over under. Right now, the Raptors are on a 3-game road trip. This is the last of the 3-game road trip. Then they're back home. And they'll be back home just before they have one. Then they have one more game before the All-Star break. So they've lost the Raptors now 4 games in a row. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games. However, they've covered 2 straight on the road. They've covered at OKC as an 18.5-point favorite. They covered at Houston as an 8.5-point favorite. And they're 4-1 in the last 5 games, Toronto. So they've covered 2 straight games. As for Philadelphia, 5-5 overall last 10 games against other opposition. 6-4 against the spread. And 7-3 to the over. Philly back from a mini 2-game road trip. They went 0-2. They're 1-4 of their last 5 games as well. So both teams, Philadelphia and Toronto, are both struggling. Both 1-4 of their last 5 games. Philly is 4-1 to the over last 5 games. Raptors are 4-1 to the over as well last 5 games. So both teams are playing to the over. The series history is pretty much over. Has gone over. Last 3 games have gone over. So the only way I can look at, I can look at it from the only perspective I have for this game. I got to look at the over here. So the current number is 225.5, 226. So I'm going to say over 225.5. That's the way I got to play it. Over 225.5, Toronto, Philadelphia. As for the side, I don't have... If I had to pick a side, I would lean to Toronto. Right on the number, it's at 9. I take Toronto plus 9 if I had to make a pick. I lean Toronto plus 9. And the over, like I said, Philadelphia, Toronto over the 225.5. That's my play for that game. The next game we're going to look at, New York and Indiana. This one opened up -1. New York at Indiana, total 234.5. Right now it's 1.5 and it's gone as high as 239.5. So it's moved quite a bit. So we're gonna look at we'll check the injury report for both of these teams. That's Indiana and New York, Indiana. So we'll check and look into this now. First, we're gonna check the injury news for the Indiana Pacers. We'll check the news for the Pacers, get the injury updates. Now for the Pacers, let me pull this up. For the Indiana Pacers, Miles Turner, concussion. He's questionable. Let me pull it up here. Yeah. Just bear with me for one moment. Yeah, Miles Turner is questionable. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, questionable to play Tuesday with a concussion, as you can see. Isaiah Jackson, Achilles out indefinitely. On the Knicks side, for the New York Knicks, OG Anunoby. He has a foot injury and is questionable to play on Tuesday. Mitchell Robinson out indefinitely. So we're going to take a look at this matchup here on New York at Indiana. Look at the head-to-head. They've already played twice already. First meeting in New York, October 25th, beginning of the season. Knicks were 4.5-point favorites at home. The total was 228.5. Knicks won 123.98 and it stayed under 228.5. The second matchup was a month later, November 10th last year in Indiana. Knicks were 3.5-point favorites. Indiana covered it and won 132-121 and went over the total, 229.5. So New York, last 10 games against other opposition. They are 7-3 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. 3-2 last 5 games, New York, and are 4-1 to the over. So and New York's a favorite, actually. They're a favorite on the road. Now you got Indiana. Indiana 7-3 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Indiana coming off a 4-game road trip. They went 2-2 on the road trip. And they are 3-2 last 5 games. And are 3-2 to the over. Yeah, the only way I can look here, I have to look at the, let's see here. Let me take one more look at this. Let me take a look at this line one more time. I'm going to take another look at this. One more look at this. Yeah, the only way I can look in this game has to be the over 239.5. Both teams are trending to the over, and the last game that they played against each other went over the total, over 229. 3 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over the total. So everything correlates to the over. So I like over the total 239.5. I don't have a play on the side. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't have a play on the side. I just like the over 239.5. That's my play on this one. I might have a first half. I'm going to look at a first half total in this game as well for the props, the NBA player props. I might have something for that tomorrow. Just stay tuned for that. But nothing. But that's all I have for now. Over 239.5. Next game we're going to look at Detroit and Chicago. This one here opened up 3.5, total 237.5. It's gone all the way to 5. We're seeing 5s across the board. And the total has gone to 238.5. This is what we're seeing. And we see 239, so it's basically 238.5, basically. Let's see here. All right, so we're going to look into this game further. We'll check the injury report first. Look at the injury report for this game. Pistons and Chicago. We'll look into that now. So on the Detroit Pistons side, Jaden Ivey, he's out indefinitely. Chicago side for the Bulls. Lorenzo Ball. So Lorenzo Ball, let's get the update on him. Torrey Craig's out indefinitely. Lorenzo Ball's ruled out. He's not going to be playing Tuesday against Detroit, so he's out. I think we've already checked Detroit. Yep, we've checked them already. Okay, so we're going to look into this game further. Get the look at the head-to-head. So this is the they played twice already. First meeting was in Detroit. Detroit was a 4-point favorite at home. The total was 234.5. Chicago covered at -4 and won the game outright in Detroit, 122-112, and it stayed under the total, 234.5. So it stayed under by about half a point. So it almost went over, but it stayed under. February 2nd, they played about a week ago in Detroit. Detroit's a 6-point favorite. This time Detroit covered and won 127-119. The total was 233, and it went over the total. This one here, Detroit last 10 games, 5-5 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 5-5 over under. Detroit's won 2 games in a row. They've been at home for a long time. Now they're on the road for 4 games. They've won 2 straight. And Pistons 3-2 to the over. For the Chicago side, the Bulls, 4-6 last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. 2-3 last 5 games, Chicago. Chicago's last 2 straight, and are 4-1 to the over. And now they're home dogs. The Bulls are home dogs. They have not looked good the last 2 games. I like the over in this game. I have to play the over. Over is the right play. This game, 238.5. I like the over in this one here. Yeah, the over is the play for me. I lean to Chicago as a dog. Chicago and the points as an underdog. I lean to them to cover. I like for them to cover the points here. Now this is actually a home and home series. This is a home and home series. They play back to back. Chicago's only a lean for now, but mainly I like the over in this game, 238.5. I'll put it. I'll leave it at that because it's a home and home series. So we'll leave it at the total, 238.5 over. That's it. Last game we're looking at Memphis and Phoenix. This one here, Memphis opened up as a 2.5-point favorite at Phoenix, total 237.5. It's now gone to up to 4.5, and it's gone to all the way to 244.5. Is what we're seeing. Yep, this is what we're seeing here. Now we're going to check the injury report for both teams. First, we'll check the Memphis side, then Phoenix. So on the Memphis side, Marvin Bagley III. We'll check this one out here. Marvin Bagley III. Out indefinitely. Jared Jackson II. Out indefinitely. On the Phoenix side for the Suns, Valej Mitchik. Ankle questionable to play later on today. So he's 50-50. Let me get that up here. Grayson Allen, knee, upgraded to available. He is available to play Tuesday for Phoenix. Bradley Beal ruled out with a toe injury.
Final.
Cody Martin, hernia, out indefinitely. Kevin Durant, ankle. He will be playing Tuesday versus Memphis. So look at the head-to-head here between these two teams. Another high total. They played twice. They played once already. This is the first meeting, December. They played New Year's Eve, December 31st. This is in Phoenix. Phoenix is a 5.5-point favorite. Memphis covered and won 117-112. So stayed under the total. This is the second meeting in Phoenix. Memphis 8-2 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Memphis 4-1 the last 5 games. 4-1 the last 5, and are 3-2 to the over. Phoenix 5-5 last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Phoenix is 1-4 to the 1-4 last 5 games, and are 4-1 to the over. Yeah, the only way to look at this game is over 244.5. That's the only way to look at this game. I can't bet it any other way but that. In terms of the side, yeah, in terms of the side here, yeah, I can, yeah. Let me see the side. I'm going to take Memphis. I like Memphis here. Memphis, I like him here at the 4. It's gone up to now, I saw it went up to 5. I agree with the move. I played it here. 4.5. I take Memphis 4.5. It's gone to 5. I bet if you like Memphis early, take Memphis. I think Memphis covers this game. And then I think they have Phoenix's number. I would take Memphis here 4.5 to cover the spread. I like Memphis here. They've actually dominated. They have domination over Phoenix, so I like him here. I like Memphis here, and I lean to the. I like I like the over 244.5, and I like Memphis to cover. And yeah, I like that. That's my play for that game. That's it. That's all. Beat the number. The NBA Morning Edition. My name is Abby. Again, whether you feed or follow these picks, it's up to you. I just see the games how I see it and choose it how I choose it. I still hope that you cash your tickets, whatever you do with whatever you choose for the plays. Again, stay true to yourself, stay blessed, stay humble, believe in yourself, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you can get more of these plays and picks on the totals and the sides as you try to beat the market on the NBA Morning Edition. Again, join me later on today. I have the NBA player props for all four of these games. Give you some player props that you can take advantage of. Until then, peace. See you later.